Well, hey there, YouTube. Here's these 2 amps I just did a video on, and putting these Anderson clips on here, and it's real simple to do. I figured I'd make a video though, in case anyone needs some help putting them on. So stand by and I'll show you what I do. Okay, so I wasn't even thinking about making a video until I started. I did the other one, but this one here's the little clips, little terminals. And I slid them over and I crimped them on there. If the camera can focus, it has problems doing that these days. You can see the line where they're crimped. And I'll show you what I used. I don't have a proper, really crimping tool. I mean, I have this, a ratcheting one up for like 10 gauge wire. But what I used for this, I'll show you. Alright, so this here's a swagging tool for I guess they're called ferrules, I believe, for the cable, like aircraft cable, or like what, someone would run for their guy wires, whatever. And that one there works pretty good. It doesn't make it quite as tight as I would like. It works pretty good. I could come back and hit it with something and stake it, and it definitely wouldn't come out. But I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole in each one of these, and I'm going to fill it with solder. So let me show you that. Stand by. So in my redneck garage, this is how this gets done. Got it clamped to the bench there. I'm going to take this awl here. I'm going to hit it with a hammer to get an indentation there. And then after that, I can drill it out with my little drill bit. Got an indentation in there. I'm going to go ahead and drill it now. Okay, the hole didn't come out the prettiest, but you got the idea. Drilled in there. I'm going to put a couple drops of liquid flux in there real quick, and then I'll hit it with the solder. Sorry I couldn't show that on camera. I've only got 2 hands, but man, this phone really stinks. Focus. Anyways, man, this one is terrible. This is really something else. Anyways, I filled that up. You're going to have to believe me. I could put a tad bit more in there, but I put quite a bit of solder in there. And I just take one of these little guys. You get them from Harbor Freight. I guess these are commonly used for smoking crack or meth or something. I don't know. Whatever you drug guys do with them. But I use them to heat this. I'll just heat the tip here, and then once that's hot, I'll start heating this part here. I don't want to get too hot and burn the insulation off. But once that gets hot and that flux is in there, then you can just take your solder and drop it right down in there. And I usually put, I don't know, probably about that much solder in each one. That way it flows in there real nice. And it's real clean. I'll just put a heat shrink over it now. Stand by. Kind of hard to do all this, when I'm filling it myself. But let's put the heat shrink on there afterward and let's heat it up. Use the same little crack smoker pipe. What is this, guys? Crack smoker pipe? Yeah, leave a comment and I'll go ahead and do the other side. Stand by. So anyways, there's a heat shrink on there, nice and clean. This isn't going anywhere. I've crimped it and I've soldered it in there, and it's solid. I'll go ahead and do this one the same way. Stand by. There it is. Put a few drops of that in there. Helps to pull the solder right on in. Trying to catch this as soon as I'm done because I can't hold the torch and the soldering, and I apologize for this camera, but there you go, we got it filled up. And you remember how far out I had that. I mean, I used quite a bit. Stand by. Alright, so got both of those on, and to heat up the heat shrink, you can use one of these like I always do. Or you can just be not such a lazy ass and look right on your floor and see you have a heat gun laying there from a project you were doing with it the other day. Not CB radio related. But yeah, you can use one of those too. Anyways, there's that. And I'll show you how to put the end on. Stand by. And since I just happen to have the little wire wheel laying there from another project I was using it on, I just took that and spun it around on my fingers just to make sure we've got some good contact there. I know you can't see anything in this phone, but sometimes after you heat it up with the torch, you know, you get a little, I guess, oxidation or whatever. All right, let me put that end on. All right, I can't do all this on camera, but basically, you want the negative on the negative. There you go. See how this is? The flat piece on the bottom there? That's going to catch this piece here. So we're going to put it in there, push it in, and it's going to click. And I can't do all this on camera, but I'll show you right after I get it in there. So basically, it goes like that. This little piece right here catches on that metal clip. Then when you plug the other one in, you know, this is like a spring. It pushes down and makes a really good, you know, mechanical connection. Stand by. All right, so there's that. Real easy. You don't have to solder them. You can just crimp them, but I like to crimp and solder. You can also just solder. I've done that before. You can just take these little ends and just set them in your vise. You know, the clip down there and the round part, the wire goes in up here. Heat it up with that little torch, fill it up with solder. Got some solder on there from another project. Get it nice and hot, and then you can drop your wire right in there. And it'll... Man, look at this. This is unbelievable. All right, I got to buy a new camera. Guys, this phone's like 6 months old. It's a Motorola Moto, what is it, a Moto G Stylus something or another. Damn thing was on sale, but it was still like a $300 and something phone, and that's terrible. Look at that. I'm even pushing the screen to try to focus. Oh, I'll be damned. Look at that. Maybe I fixed it. Son of a bitch. Maybe I just had to push that screen. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Totally better now. Guess I was doing... Well, I guess I'm too dumb to operate the phone. I was just going to bash it out. But anyway, that's how I put these on there. You're going to see on some of the builders' videos, they're going to say a 50 amp Anderson connector isn't adequate for this. It's going to get hot, it's going to melt, blah, blah, blah. If you guys think it's too small for like a little 2x8 MOSFET amp here, or like a little 4-pill transistor amp, then don't use it. Use a bigger one. I use these because you get 10 of them for, I think you get 10 of them now. So that would be 5 pair, I believe, for like 20 bucks. They used to be way cheaper, but you know, prices on everything are going up. But, I mean, they're super easy to use. I put these on everything. You just swap them in and out. Now, my base amp doesn't have one of these. That has, I think, a 175 amp Anderson connector. I mean, it's a big old one. But for these little things, it ain't no problem. So, that's my opinion. All right, thanks for watching.